Hey guys, welcome back to Shep Talk and welcome back to another Shep Talk movie review. Before we get into that review though, quick admin note, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so you can be notified when I upload a video. Also, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, so if you want to follow me on social media, go ahead and do that. Now, let's get back to my review of Valley Girl. Valley Girl was directed by Rachel Lee Goldenberg. Valley Girl also stars Jessica Roth, Josh Whitehouse, Jesse Enos, Ashley Murray, Chloe Bennett, and Alicia Silverstone. Quick synopsis: Julie and Randy are from different backgrounds, but fall in love despite what their friends and family think about their relationship. Valley Girl was released on video on demand on May 8th, 2020. First off, I want to say I have not seen the original of this movie is based off. I will say I didn't even know this movie was based off an older movie. Supposedly it stars Nicolas Cage and was like his breakout role. I might have to go back and watch that one now. Whew. But since this is a Hollywood movie, I should have known Hollywood was going to rehash this one. You know, they've been rehashing movies for years now. We can get into a discussion on Hollywood and original ideals. With all that being said, I really did not expect the direction this movie was going to go in. From the outset, you pick up that this movie is going to be what this movie is going to be from the beginning. Rich girl meets boy from a different side of the tracks and falls for him. What I wasn't expecting though is this to be a straight out musical. Not to say that it is bad, it just surprised me when they started singing these 80s songs. I for one do not hate on musicals. I actually enjoy them. But I know there's some people out there that don't. But I enjoy a good musical, especially when it is woven into the story and just not coming out of nowhere. I love the fact they went all in for the 80s feel in this movie as well. Being someone that lived through the 80s, it was like a rush to see all these iconic stores, clothes, and music being put on the screen. I really enjoyed that aspect of this movie. I have to say I really think the 80s produced some of the best music out there. I know that's just my personal opinion, guys, but man, it was awesome to hear some of the songs I hadn't heard in years. One of the surprises in this movie, though, was it took me a minute to realize Chloe Bennett, best known for her role on Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., was in this movie. For the longest time, I was like, this girl looks really, really familiar, and I finally had to break down and pop open IMDb while watching this and it's like, damn, this is Chloe Bennett. Awesome job. She rocks the 80s clothing well, the hairstyle, the makeup. Man, you think she, just stepped right out of the 80s. She fits right in, and I loved watching her on the screen. Though I will say her role seems to have moved to the background once Julie starts dating Randy and pretty much ditches all her other friends for him. I really wish we got to see more of that aspect, But I will say most of the cast really seem to rock their roles and seem to enjoy portraying these characters. There is one actor in this one that I wasn't really thrilled to see on screen, and that was Logan Paul. I usually try to avoid anything that has Logan Paul in it. He has made some choices regarding his content on YouTube that I just haven't agreed with and choose not to watch his stuff. Luckily, he is pretty much in the beginning of this movie and then is left in the dirt. And I really don't think he is that great of an actor. I will say this, if you want to see some of the controversy he is in, Google it. I'm not going to really get into it. I will say this story is a pretty generic love story type movie that really doesn't add anything except for being a musical. It's pretty much straight, simple love story. As stated before, I have not seen the 1983 movie this one is based off, but it seems like a lot of people really enjoyed that one over this one. I might have to, like I said before, try and find the older version now and do a review of it as well, maybe do a comparison, why people really seem to enjoy the first one, but seem to be a little bit down on this one. I don't know if it's just because it's a musical, because I understand the other one was not a musical, but who knows. I thought the music was overall on point for this movie. This would be a movie that I bought the soundtrack for and would crank up on my radio whenever it came up on my playlist. I've actually looked it up on iTunes and it's there, and probably will get it on payday. It is just an 80s, it's just so 80s that it is almost perfect. I love the sets as well. Like I said before, this movie really made me reminisce about the 80s and what a simpler time it was back then. We weren't all connected to our electronic devices. We actually made real connections with people and hung out in person. And we always weren't looking or pulling out our phones. I kind of wish we could go back to those times where we weren't tied to our phones when we're out in public and hanging with our friends. Overall, Valley Girl is an enjoyable movie if you like musicals. I have friends that just can't stand musicals, and this would be torture for them, but I find it enjoyable. But it's a fun throwback to the 80s. I wish they would have touched up the story, though, since it is a pretty predictable love story that we've seen plenty of times. But I enjoyed the actors, I enjoyed the music, and I enjoyed the sets. With all that, though, Shep Talk is going to give Valley Girl 2.5 Sheps out of 5. That is all I have time for you today. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're getting really close to 300 subs, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. And if you like this video here, check out these videos over here. I'm sure there's going to be something else in there that you'll also enjoy. But like I said, that is all I have time for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.